Good morning, brothers and sisters in Christ Jesus. I know it's like 3 in the morning. I just looked at the clock like 3:05. I had a dream about Jesus. I don't know if y'all saw the Bible series or the Son of God, that movie, but he looked like that to me. And it kept like flickering back. The Lord had took us. We all got in a giant ship. And it was an ark. It was an ark. And we were in the ark. He was getting us away before the storm was happening. And when the storm started happening, the Lord called me and like to walk on the water. First I got scared. And he said, "Don't be afraid. Just come." And I started walking. I got confidence and started walking toward him. And he had his hand out, and he like while I was walking, he took my hand. And of course, like I told y'all, when I'm scared, I start joking a little bit, especially if I'm nervous. But I was not that scared. I was at first. So he told me, "Don't be afraid," and I started walking toward him. And if y'all saw the Son of God, or y'all saw the Bible series 2013, he's on there. And he said the exact same words. And so I tried to joke with him a little bit. I said, "Here we go, going through this crazy stuff." And basically, he said something about a leap of faith. And then he turned from a boat to a house. Like he took us there in the boat to a house. Yes, he was turning. Like he was a ship, and then he was turning. Oh my God. Then he turned to a house. And it was a giant house. Do y'all remember? I know y'all got a lot of things to do, but I told y'all about a week ago. I dreamt that we all was in a house. Jesus was in there and everything. And then he asked my daughter, he says, "Go make something to eat." And usually she gets stubborn, but she got right up and did it. It was like her whole attitude, her whole demeanor changed to a sweet child. I should have known that was a dream. A dream. No, but sometimes she gets in her mood, especially that time of the month. And I looked at it like got ready to yell at her. To say, even you don't listen to Jesus. I got ready to say that Jesus looked and put his hand up like, "Shh, watch." And when I looked up, she got right up and did it. And it was like I had to get used to the atmosphere where we were at. And she got up and she started cooking. Like he asked her in a dream, "Go make your mom something to eat." She got right up and did it. He was obedient. We were in the house, and I was like messing with Jesus. I was like, "You keep showing giant moons coming to the door. 2 moons at night is crazy." And I started laughing at him. I said, "What do you got me to do?" It was like he prepared me and a couple other people. I know them in a dream, but I don't know them now. And what happened is, but then it was like we had a meeting, but we all was sitting down with our legs crossed like Indians. Everybody was happy there. I was happy too. And I heard a voice tell me, like, when Jesus come here to clean out the earth, right? He's coming with his warriors. And I had a dream about, he was telling me that that's what the dream was about. That's why I kept dreaming like that. Like we're going to come here with Jesus and fight a war. And it all came clear in the dream because we supposed to be in heaven first. After the rapture, we will be in heaven. Yeah. And then the Lord was like preparing me. He was putting on clothes and stuff. But when he would put on the clothes, they would disappear on me. But they were on. And it was like warrior outfits. And the white horse, I'm not sure, but I called him something. It was my horse. And I called him something. And he started walking. I think his name was something fire. I think Sapphire or whatever his name was. It sounded like that, but it wasn't Sapphire, but it sounded like that. And he came right over to me. And it was a lot of people that was up there with me and jumping around, acting real silly. They were like kids. And they had their horses, and they were looking at me, smiling at me, and I was smiling at them because they were warriors. In a dream, it made sense, but it was like we was gonna be in heaven, and then all of a sudden, we had to get geared up for God to clean the earth. It was like we came back with Him, and then we had to go and get the other Christians that was ready. We had to protect them. We couldn't take them up yet, but we had to protect them. And listen to me, it was all kinds of races. It was all of us. There were black, there were white, there were Chinese, there were other people that we didn't even know. Um, the race of these people, they were fighting like they were going side by side. We was about to go to the earth on white horses. Jesus was the head ranked leader, and he was on his horse. And it had on the side of his leg, on the side of his leg, it had some writing on it and blood. Um, and Jesus was, I mean, he was cool. Y'all should have saw him. He was cool. He was sitting on a horse. And he was like telling us, instructing us what to do. And I looked at him and I said, so I am really supposed to come back? And he like smiled at me and winked. And then next thing you know, we were hearing the earth, like the people on earth crying and everything. And then I heard even those who pierced him, they were on the earth. And they were on the. And then I saw my baby daughter on a horse, but she couldn't come though. She had to wait where the Lord placed us at. She was little. And so she got her a nice little horse. It was a white horse. But it was a baby. And she was playing with it. She was content. I said, you don't want to go to war? No, I'm okay. We have to listen to Jesus. And he said, I'm not going down there. I can stay up here. And she was in her own world with the animals. They were there too. Our cats were there. So I'm laughing at her, and I got up and we were on horses and we were looking at the earth, waiting for the correct time to destroy the earth. Everything that was evil in that earth, in our earth, we had to destroy that. And not only that, but the people. These were rich people. These were rulers and everything. And they were getting ready to get wiped off the map. They had some people that they were slaves or maids or whatever and gave up their soul. So it was people that was poor too. They gave up their soul. And it's like we were supposed to like help Jesus clean the earth. Like in other words, this earth needs an enema. and Jesus was cleaning everything out, even under the dirt, where the worms and all that stuff was had to be cleaned. Um, and as I was coming, it's like as I was waking up, um, I heard him laugh at me. I said something to him and forgot I said it, and he remembered and started laughing. And basically, he was telling me that that's who I am. Like basically, I heard the 144,000. Y'all remember that? Well, I was something else. I was a warrior, and I had to fight the evils of the earth, and that's what I was there to do. The the uh, the gathering was about to happen. We had to gather all these people together. That was God fearing people. That was God's people. We had to gather them together. So that seems to me like this was the gathering, and I'm like, oh my God, because everything happened in the dream, like everything was coming to me, and we were we were geared up, we were coming down, and Jesus was coming down. He had a sword with two sides of the sword. They were swords, but it was a sword with two sides, like two blades, and it was gigantic. And Jesus was coming down there. It's like he wasn't really even holding a horse to stay on the horse. We did, but he. Oh my God, that was a crazy good dream. And he was looking down and he was telling me about the evils of this world. He's going to clean it out. He's going to clean the evilness out the world, and then we was going to come back, and it's going to look like the Garden of Eden. It's going to be beautiful. Y'all hold on to your faith, because in the dream, I barely remembered my pain. I knew my name. I knew I had these dreams. He reminded me of it, but it wasn't no more hurt. Everything came together for us. Everything that we ever went through, everything came together, and we were content. But we were trying to get, uh, like we were getting ready, and we had our suits on. And I looked at, oh, that's a nice one, but it soaked in my skin. It was, I had it on, but I couldn't see it. And when he was coming, bringing it to me, uh, I looked at the things. Oh, that's nice. But when he put it on me, it soaked in my skin. It was like it got invisible, and it's like it snapped to another part. And he was telling me like the stuff that I'm going to be doing is going to be impossible to the human mind. It's going to be impossible, but yet it's going to be miraculous. And he was trying to prepare me, and he was preparing the others, and we were sitting there talking about some of the people that was left behind and all this stuff. They was asking Jesus 1,000 questions. He was answering them right away, and he was answering them right away, and he was telling them what they was going to do. And basically, this is the reason why they went through a lot. That's what Jesus was saying. And he looked at me and said, that's why you were one of me. That's what he told me. You was one of me. And he said, that's why you went through it. And there was a lot of people looking around. And actually, I was glad I had went through some stuff. I couldn't remember the bad things, but I knew I went through a lot. So y'all just hold on to your faith, brothers and sisters in Christ. Because everything that we went through on this earth is going to be over. We're not going to go through that anymore. And we are accepted by each other too in Jesus. So hold on to your faith. I had to get up. I started crying about it. And everything just came together. So I love y'all and God be with y'all. Bye bye. I don't mean bye bye as I'm leaving forever, Miss Thang. But God be with y'all. I love y'all.